day at Bakersfield College, our students are moving toward their goals. Why aren't you with them? Is it cost? Family obligation? Maybe you don't feel prepared for college life. The good news is we're prepared to help you. You have yet to realize how much help and support is waiting for you at Bakersfield College. Learn more now on EquityTV. Hello, everybody. I'm Francis Mayer, your host, and this is Equity TV. We share stories of success, perseverance, and we give you tips, tricks, and other advice for succeeding in college, and specifically Bakersfield College. People come to Bakersfield College for many reasons, whether it's to get a jump start on their 4-year degree or whether it's to pick up an essential skill that increases their value at work and helps them increase in status or make the paycheck a little fatter. Whatever your reason is, we can help you out at Bakersfield College. But what happens after you go to Bakersfield College? Well, that's the good part. And our first guest will tell us a little bit more about that. Hello, good morning, Tamika. How are you?
Morning. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. And what is your full name?
My name is Tamika Yvonne Narvez Payne.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful name. I just meant the Narvez part, but the whole thing goes well together. It goes very well together.
Thank
You
you.
tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're at in life right now. How did you come to us at Bakersfield College?
Well, I was working a job that I had been in for 10 years. And
you look very young, so that's why it's easy to get confused.
Thank you.
Right, you're what we call a returning student.
Yes,
okay.
And I had stopped to work to raise my children. I have 7.
Wow.
Yes, 7. And
a minivan.
And a minivan. And I went for a position at this job that I was qualified for, had the experience, but I did not have the education.
You knew how to do it.
I knew how to do it with my eyes closed.
And that would have been a pay increase, probably would have made a difference.
Oh, yes, it would have changed my life, most definitely.
But they said forget it.
Couldn't have it without the credentials. So literally, that day my life was changed.
Did it really? Was it like a shot in the dark?
Instantaneous.
Okay.
Instantaneous. And I signed up at BC.
How hard was that?
Actually, I had a lot of wonderful people that embraced me when I came to BC. So.
See, I think that's something a lot of students don't anticipate is everybody who works at BC, well, at least the majority of people I bump into, and myself included, absolutely, we're success-oriented people. We want to see you do well.
Yes.
We want you to win.
Yes.
This is a business that we're in.
Yes.
All right, and that's what you
Success.
encountered.
Yes.
Yes.
And I remember signing up, enrolling, getting my schedule, and the first day of class, I wasn't on rosters. It didn't go through. And a very sweet woman by the name of Nan Gomez said, "How bad do you want to go to school?" I said, "I will make straight A's the whole time I'm here if you'll let me in." And she worked her magic. I got into my classes, and I've had a 4.0 ever since.
Oh, wow. But
Yes.
there are going to be those curveballs that come at you.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
And that happens in every avenue of life. If you give up too easily, you're never going to get to the good part.
Yes, I'm known for my emotional resilience. I'm not hard. I'm open and open-minded. I'm not like an egg. I don't crack under pressure. I'm pretty much like a stress ball. I take in what I need to take in, and I let out what I need to let out, and I keep on going.
Well, you've got to be that way. I think that's probably something that a Navy SEAL and a student have in common, right?
Right.
I mean, obviously there's other major differences, but that emotional resilience that you talked about, every day is a survival situation, whether you're on a college campus or you're in the workforce, and we want to thrive, but we've got to be emotionally resilient because there are ups and downs in college.
There is many ups and downs. I've been called the graceful faller. That when I fall, I dust my knees off and I get back up and I make it work. And what I love about the role I play at BC now is that I'm that person that helps that person back up. I'm the first face you see when you walk into BC.
And tell us about that. So you went through BC and kind of give us the how you've gotten into the professional world.
I found myself at BC. I found that I have a voice and that I found what I love to do, and that's help people in what we call the bottom base of life, the grind is what some call it. I love that place. People are raw, people are real, their circumstances are real. I can relate to many of them. So when I get moms that come in there and they need to know about childcare, I use the childcare there. If we have low-income students that come in there and they need EOP&S or financial aid, I use those programs. So I'm able to kind of guide them to the right person to talk to. And when people walk through that door, I want them to see a face that's welcoming them and smiling and happy that they're there. So I work for the outreach department at Bakersfield College.
That is wonderful. And do you still find yourself needing support, or did education lead you to independence?
On some levels, I still do get support, and but on many levels, I have been self-sufficient, been able to be self-sufficient.
Right. And you know, to break it down to even simpler terms, you came up here and you were like, boy, it's going to be a hot one today. And there's no doubt about that. It is warming up right now, depending on when you're watching this video. We're in that very short season that some people call spring, but in Bakersfield, we call it pre-summer. And yeah, I think it's going to get into the 80s today. And you said, man, it is hot out there. And then you said, but thank goodness for air conditioning.
Right.
Because you're not out in the sun all day.
Right. But it's the same thing with education. You know,
Sure.
I don't know anything, but thank God for Bakersfield College. I can go in there, I can learn, I can bring my skills up to par, I can obtain a skill, and one day obtain a career.
Yeah.
Not a job, not a paycheck to paycheck, but a career where you're defined and your talents are defined too.
Right. And like you said, you get to have a positive impact on people. You get to see the success stories. And wouldn't you say, it's been my estimation and students that I've met, that there are more success stories of people who come to Bakersfield College and there are people who don't reach their goals?
Yes, very much so. I've had my battles and I've had my struggles, but I don't like to hone in on those. I like to hone in on the fact that where I am from those circumstances, where I am from those challenges, who I am because of them. You know, we're not defined by what we go through.
No,
we're defined by who we become out of those things that we go through.
Right, right. Like if you survived the Titanic sinking, you wouldn't complain about how once you were really cold.
Right.
You'd be like, I'm alive.
I'm alive
Here I
now.
am. Yes, exactly.
Yes, very much
No, that's
so.
wonderful. So emotional resilience is something that you suggest to incoming students. And is that something that you had all along, or is it something that you discovered along the way?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I got the definition of emotional resilience from a communication major, Talita Pruitt. She's actually my intercultural communication teacher now. And she said, we can't deflect everything. We need some type of everything that works as far as energy in this world, people, experiences. And we can't crack under pressure like an egg. We can't do that. Then life just ends. And you can't do that either. I'm a mother of 7 children and a wife. Life can't end here.
So you just said you still have a teacher. Talk about that for a minute, because you have 7 children, as you said. You have a marriage. There's a lot of balls that you're juggling.
Oh, yes.
And?
A full-time job.
And?
Full-time student.
Where are you a student at now?
Bakersfield College.
Right. You were how many units are you taking?
I am taking 20.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I aggressively took where I wanted to go seriously and by force. And it's hard sometimes getting kids up and all out the door so that I can be to BC at 7:30.
Right.
And have everybody in childcare. And some days are grueling. I'm up till 2 a.m, making sure my papers are right. I've even used Amber Chang to proofread my papers because we're in the same office. I've had Odella Johnson come and tell me if something's correct or I've laid it before them. But you know what I love about that aspect right there is that there's people I can go to on a professional and an academic level that are going to sometimes stop what they're doing to make sure I succeed.
Okay, that you just hit a nail on the head. And mentioning Amber, it's really funny because she was outside right now doing something in the news business. We call it efforting, and it's when you try to bring a story to life. And you might have noticed that there's a moth infestation in Bakersfield.
Yes.
Everywhere you look, there's moths.
Yes.
Well, you know, Amber, who is our PR director and very, very accomplished at what she does, she was calling people at the college because, hey, we have an expert for that. We
Yes.
have someone who knows all about moths, and she's on the phone trying to get a hold of them right now to help
That's
out
Amber.
one of our news stations. Exactly. But the thing is that we have experts in almost every field and every discipline at Bakersfield
And
College.
she's only one of the many that encompass that quality of love and support and initiative and drive to getting you from where you are to where you dream to be. And that's what I love about BC. Is that you don't get that very many places.
No, you certainly don't. And there's not too many places you can go where you can walk 100, 200 yards and bump into just about an expert in anything. Any
Yes.
question you have,
Yes.
we've probably got an answer or someone who can tell you which book to read to find it up on Panorama Drive at Bakersfield College. Well, Tamika, I look forward to following your education success story as it develops. You're already a successful person. Thank you so much for spending some time with us on the show this morning.
Thank you, Francis. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Coming up next, we're going to speak with Mr. Lewis Neal. He's a youth services specialist for the Bakersfield City School District, and he's going to come on and talk to us about what his life after college was like. And I have a feeling it's a pretty darn good one. Don't go anywhere. There's more Equity TV coming up next.